a podcaster.
Take some beans!
No, freaking starved. I didn't get to eat anything today. God. Gross. Freaking idiot.
Good morning, Mega Podlegs.
Good afternoon.
And good night.
Depends on what time you're watching. I just like to throw that in there to make everyone feel comfortable.
Good twilight.
Good morrow, my good fellows. You're watching the Lunchbox Bunch.
Yes. The only show on YouTube where two guys in their 40s talk about lunchboxes.
Metal lunchboxes. This is the only show.
Is it really? Are we the only one?
Of two guys in their mid-40s. Talk about, or they're in their 40s. You don't know if you're in your mid-40s yet.
Yep.
Yeah. Talk about metal lunchboxes.
I'm looking at your Count Chocula shirt.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat a Count Chocula now.
That. Because I don't change the shirt. I've been wearing it since Halloween.
That's some Count Choculas. Would you like a Count Chocula treat? I know you have some.
I do have some. I have 2 boxes of them still. The cereal and the cereal bars are quite tasty. Yeah.
Hey, Dave, what's the coolest show streaming on Netflix right now?
That would be Nailed It Spanish. With the where they go to Spain and they make the cakes.
What would be the coolest show streaming on Netflix right now that has puppets in it?
That would be
the cooking show.
The cooking show with the puppets. The puppet cooking show.
That's a real show, you know that?
Yeah, well, that was the Henson thing, right?
Henson
yeah,
thing.
yeah. I haven't watched it. We gotta watch it. Yeah, but another Henson thing is the Dark Crystal
Age of Resistance.
Age of Resistance. So I think it's timely. That's now at this point it's been on for a couple weeks, but it's timely. We're gonna bust out
the Dark
one
Crystal.
of my favorite. This isn't my copy of the Lunchbox, but I have one too.
Yours is in better shape.
Mine's
brand
mint.
new.
We should have had that one for the thing. But we're at your house, so.
Yeah.
Mine's one of the weird.
This
we'll have to
isn't
show
my
it.
house. This is Maury's house.
That's right. It's Maury's boudoir.
Yeah.
Mine's a mint with the papers, never been used.
Yes.
That is like the. That's the top you can get.
Yeah.
Like if it's never been used, no name in it. You're not going to get a name. No kid use it. It still has the.
Doesn't smell like a bologna sandwich.
It smells like a new car that somebody ate a bologna sandwich in. But this one's not mint, but it's in very good shape. And it's one of my favorite lunchboxes. It's definitely in my top 5 metal lunchboxes. And that's him eating Count Chocula. And this is made by the Thermos Corporation, so this is not embossed. But it has such cool stuff on it. I remember seeing this movie in the theater, the original Dark Crystal in the theater. And at the Waverly.
Yeah, that's where I saw it too.
Yeah, it was weird. We both saw it at the same place, not at the same time. But we saw this movie.
Maybe we did see it at the same time. We didn't know each other back then. We could have been sitting a row apart and not known.
Possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Like the time you and I went to the King of Prussia Mall and met Mr. T. And then like 18 years later found out that Cinema Sickness was in line with us. Mm-hmm. But we didn't know that at the time.
We didn't know it, no. Stranger Things.
Netflix,
another Netflix
show. Another Netflix show, yeah.
But this is not what we're talking about. We're talking about the Age of Resistance one, which is a new Netflix show, which is based off of this movie that originally had a lunchbox, was the original Dark Crystal.
Right. Now this movie, when I saw it in the theater in 1982, I loved this movie.
Yeah.
I loved it. But my mom, walking out, she thought I was going to be afraid of it. And when she put me to bed that night, she's like, don't have any nightmares dreaming about the Dark Crystal. And I'm like, but I
find the Gelflings more off-putting than the Skeksis. Something about them, to me, looks creepier than the Skeksis. Even though the Skeksis are supposed to look evil, they look like a big bird, and that is exciting to me.
Well, Jim Henson did a good job with big birds.
He did. That was his forte. I didn't get a lot of the stuff when I originally saw the movie. Like, I didn't understand a lot of the things, kind of like Tron when I saw that.
So you were sitting there watching it, and you were going,
please explain this to me. I don't know. Did you get the concept that, like, you know, the whole idea that the Mystics and the Skeksis were connected, and at the end they join together, but when one gets hurt, the other one gets hurt?
I don't think I got, like, because when you watch the movie in repeat viewings, you'll see one of them gets cut, and then you'll see a cut appear on the other.
Right.
Or one of the
One of them
Skeksis
gets
will
killed,
die.
the other one will just disappear.
I remember.
Sorry for spoiling this movie for anyone, but it's from 1982.
It is an old movie.
Yeah.
I don't think I picked up on that until the ending. Then at the ending, they spell it out for you. So I think I got it at the end, but I don't think I got it early on.
Yeah. But now, how cool is it now? Not to not talk about the Lunchbox, but now you think about this. This movie ends. There was some chatter about, like them doing a sequel to the movie.
And something that you should point out here, this movie, it later on became a cult hit, was not a big hit in theaters. I mean, it did well enough. It broke even. Like, Henson didn't lose money on it, but critics were very split on it.
You know what's great about this movie, and a lot of the movies that came out at this time, which I think molded our childhood as kids, going to the movies at the time, the kids' movies that came out, for the most part, a lot of them were very dark movies.
Yeah.
They had dark themes, and I'm not saying like they weren't lit well. I'm saying the themes, like the stuff in them was dark. You got The Dark Crystal. You got Return to Oz. You've got like Secret of Nim, Black Cauldron. They all have these dark themes about them, and like even stuff like, I was, a few years earlier, but like stuff like The Rescuers and the Disney stuff at the time was dark. Other movies that were coming out, you had stuff like Gremlins is supposed to be like a kid's movie, I guess, sort of, right? Even E.T. is kind of, it's got some scary stuff in it. Like now, the movies for kids are so.
Did you ever hear Spielberg?
Sugar-coated.
Did you ever hear what Spielberg intended for the sequel to be to E.T.? There was a sequel.
You told me this.
It was going to be like evil aliens come to Earth and kidnap Elliot, and E.T. has to come to rescue him. It was going to be called E.T. 2 Nocturnal Terrors. That was the title of the script. And I'm kind of glad they never made it, because I don't think E.T. should have been touched.
Right.
But I would like to slip into the parallel universe where it did get made.
Yeah, imagine
and watch
like you were
that
on another
movie.
Earth, and then like that's the sequel to E.T. Remember that? Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah. There was like 9 Avatar movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's weird that like, you have these movies that came out that they were dark and they were intended for kids. And you look at movies now and I don't feel like it's that situation anymore.
Right.
And even before that, I think even before this like weird little niche of movies in the 80s and stuff, that it just got really dark. I mean, you had to come up with PG-13 because stuff started getting so crazy.
And that was Gremlins and Indiana Jones.
Right.
That created the PG-13, both in 1984.
And then do you know what the first PG-13 movie was?
Dreamscape, right? Was it No, Red Dawn.
Red Dawn.
It was Red Dawn.
I just watched it, yeah. Yeah, Dreamscape's a good one, too.
Dreamscape, I think, was rated PG in the theater, but then they went back and re-rated it for VHS.
Oh.
I think that was... But yeah, no, Red Dawn was the first. Patrick Swayze.
But now, we have this awesome new series. Who would have ever thought that how many years later, over...
I'm glad this series
30-some
exists.
years later, yeah.
I'm really glad it exists, but if we're being honest, it shouldn't exist. It's a 30 years later sequel to a movie that wasn't a big hit, done with puppets.
It's still done with puppets. Yeah, it's done with puppets now in the age of CGI. And it's not even a sequel, it's a prequel to a movie. I mean, it is. And
it's dark. Again, you want to talk dark. In this movie, Jen and Kira are the last 2 Gelflings. So you're watching a prequel where an entire race is going to be slaughtered.
Well, it's very much like the Star Wars prequels with, because if you've seen the original trilogy, that the Jedi get wiped out. So all those Jedi that you're meeting it's the same kind of thing. It's the same thing with the Gelflings. You're meeting all these Gelfling characters, they can't exist at the end of this. Rogue One. They're not making it out of there.
Right.
Sorry. Yep.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this lunchbox, though.
So we got Jen and Kira here on the front.
Right.
And I'd like to point out that Kira's name is spelled the same as my daughter's. I can't exactly say I named her after Kira from The Dark Crystal, but I did name her for Kira for Star Trek. But The Dark Crystal is also good. So we
And then
got
you have
them.
the
FizzGig.
FizzGig.
FizzGig on the one of my subscribers' screen names is FizzGig.
That's
I
a
got
good one.
very excited. I got a
Yeah.
message saying FizzGig has subscribed to you on.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And we got the Skeksis Castle
Yep.
in the back. So then we go to the back here. Oh, and trivia. I always open my videos by saying, "Good morning, Mega Podlings." And where did I get the name Podlings? Mega Podlings? From the Dark Crystal. And on the back here, we've got Kira and Jen with the Podlings.
Yep.
So there they are. Now I'll get a cease and desist from Henson.
And on the sides, is that you got on this side? Is that,
Oh, that's Chamberlain.
that's Chamberlain when he's all disrobed?
Yep.
What do they? They banish him?
Yeah.
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 Skeksis, friend, Gelfling. Yeah.
Who is now the new Chamberlain in the new series? Simon Pegg.
But what's impressive is you got a big name like Simon Pegg, and he's not even trying to sound like Simon
he's
Pegg.
doing a spot-on
He's doing an
Chamberlain
impressive-
voice.
You would never know that it was Simon Pegg because
Right.
he sounds just like the voice from the original.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the other side, we've got another character who's on the new show,
Mm-hmm.
Aughra,
Aughra.
and
That voice. Who does that voice?
that.
She sounds just like the original.
Yeah,
Aughra, though.
she sounds just like the original. I don't know who does that voice. I don't
Yeah.
think it's a big star, but yeah, this is a really cool lunchbox.
It is. I like the
actually.
the way they have the scripty
Yeah.
kind of pictures. It's nice. It is really cool.
On this side on the top, we have a mystic. We have Jen talking to his master, the wisest of the mystics.
Mm-hmm.
And I always like the mystics. In fact, if I have one complaint about the Age of Resistance is that there's not enough mystics in it. I always thought that was a really cool looking puppet.
But it's going to come back for
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, I hope it's coming back for a second season.
yeah.
Has it been announced?
I don't know. I would think.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
And the bottom, we've got Jen with the crystal shard
Mm-hmm.
and a UPC code.
And that was not in the movie.
No, the UPC code.
But this is
not
what
in the
makes
movie.
these metal lunchboxes so great. You know, you get the plastic lunchbox, you get a picture as a sticker slapped on the front.
Yes.
This, as a kid, is exciting because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different images.
Yeah.
They're not even recycling them. The whole thing is complete different on every side, no matter which way you're
Right.
looking at it. And that's why I like to stress why the metal lunchboxes
Yeah.
is so much cooler than the plastic lunchboxes.
Yes.
I mean, it's awesome. And this one is seriously one of my favorites because it was one of my favorite movies. It's such a cool lunchbox. You know, there was a lot of stuff, like I said, like the real dark movies that came out that were for kids that you would have thought would have had metal lunchboxes, but didn't get metal lunchboxes.
Right.
There's no Return to Oz lunchbox.
No.
I mean, that was kind of a flop, I guess, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Usually these lunchboxes were being made to promote the movie at the time the movie was coming out, so you didn't know if the movie was going to be a flop or not.
Right. There wasn't like toys and stuff for this movie.
No, there are now. Funko makes them. In fact, I have them on the shelf just out of sight there.
Next to Maury.
Yeah, hey, Maury, put down Aughra. That's a collector's item.
Spit him out.
Yeah.
Spit it out. Yeah. Her out, yeah.
Why
Gross.
do we hang out with that guy? You know what else never had a metal lunchbox? We talked about this before, but it's kind of shocking that, they made 4 movies during the lunchbox era, and they never made a Rocky lunchbox.
Oh, you got paperwork in here.
I do?
You have paperwork in
I
yours.
didn't even realize that paper.
Look at this. Hold the phone. It's a little dinged up on the outside, but he's got the thermos, which I don't believe was ever used.
You know what? I must have known that the paperwork was in there.
And
but
then
I
this is our
forgot.
first one with the paperwork.
Yeah.
It's the flip and sip top. Show the flip and sip top.
Flip.
That's
and
what it was,
sip
the flip and
top.
sip top, because let me smell it first. That smells brand new. And then you
Ooh.
had this top that would flip up. That was a big thing. That was like big lunchbox technology back in the day, was the flip and sip top.
Yeah. This box I got at Dragon Con.
Look at how nice and clean that is on the inside. No
Yeah.
name on that one.
It's scuffed up on the outside, but the inside's nice.
That is a really good one.
Yeah, I brought this one back from Dragon Con. This is one of the ones that I had to like smuggle. I had dirty socks and underwear in this box because I had to fit everything into a suitcase.
He just keeps his dirty socks and underwear inside lunchboxes.
You never know when you're going to need
He's
it.
a filthy person.
You got to be able to carry your dirty socks and underwear. So there you go. Let's look at the
The Podling party.
mega podlings.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I love
You
the
don't
dark
get enough
crystal.
essence out of Podlings, though.
I love the dark crystal.
They're like dollar store batteries.
A lot of people, because Henson, after obviously he's best known for the Muppets, but after the Muppets he did Dark Crystal, and then he followed Dark Crystal up with Labyrinth, and I would argue that today, in 2019, Labyrinth is the more popular movie.
Probably, yeah.
In terms of cult, and it did much worse than the Dark Crystal at the box
Right,
office. That was
yeah.
an out flop at the box office. But I've always liked the Dark Crystal better.
That's another dark one, though, Labyrinth.
Right.
Yeah. He had that dark edge about him, the Henson stuff, you know?
I just finished reading his biography. The Labyrinth was actually a response to the Dark Crystal, because a lot of the critics complained there wasn't enough humor and there were no musical numbers. So he was like, well, people want to see humans interacting with my puppets. They want to see musical numbers. They want to see humor. So he made Labyrinth tailor-made to address the complaints of the Dark Crystal. It's a little more humorous. It's got David Bowie. There's music. There's dancing, and it did worse.
Go figure.
But now in retrospect, it's got a huge cult following.
Right. Yeah.
So when I was at Dragon Con this year, the Atlanta Center for Puppetry Arts, which is an awesome puppet museum. If you're ever in Atlanta, go to the Atlanta Center for Puppetry Arts. There are puppets from the Dark Crystal on display. You could see a Skeksis. You could see Aughra. They're on display there. As are Emmett and Ma from Emmett Otter's Drug Band Christmas. They're there. Several
Can't put a
Muppets.
hole in the watchtub.
They, on the Friday night of Dragon Con for the last couple of years, they've had the Gelfling Ball, where they have a big Dark Crystal party at the Center for Puppetry Arts, and but people go dressed like Gelflings and things. I didn't know.
Wow, that sounds exciting.
But the last couple of years, like I know, like Lisa Henson and Brian Henson will show up for the ball, so it's pretty exciting.
Wow, and especially now there's more. Now because they've expanded this universe,
Yeah,
you have more to go on. You can dress up as different Gelflings now.
exactly.
Yeah, the new series is really good. I have to finish it. I'm still halfway through.
Have you gotten to the Heretic yet? Have you met the Heretic?
No, I have not met the Heretic.
Oh, God, wait till you meet the Heretic.
Yeah, that's Andy Samberg does the voice of the Heretic.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Heretic's the best character in the show. Do you know about the Heretic?
Not yet, no. I just
do
know
you know what species he is?
he's a Skeksis.
Oh, you know that.
Yeah,
okay.
he's a Skeksis. Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked up to who was like doing voice
Right.
acting, and I saw Andy Hamburger.
There's a Funko Pop of the Heretic right at Target, but it's not that good. Like he doesn't look like the character, and I'm like, I looked at it and I'm like, oh, this is disappointing, because I would love a Funko Pop of the Heretic,
Right.
but not this one because it's not very good.
Yeah, sometimes the Funko Pops don't work.
Right.
Yeah.
I do have Chamberlain and a Mystic up on the shelf over there.
Those ones came out before the new series.
Right, those are from
yeah.
the original movie.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job on those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Aughra from the Aughra Funko Pop from the new series looks really good.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Gelflings.
Mm-hmm.
I hope there's a second season. I really hope there is. I don't know.
I don't know. It got a lot of positive feedback, so I'm thinking.
I don't know if there's a lot of buzz though. Like you hear people talking about Stranger Things. I don't really, unless if you're like a huge.
Well,
Muppet
I guess
or
it's more about
Henson.
if people watched it. Like
Right.
they can see how many people watched the thing. They know what the viewership is on it. If it was
Couldn't have
good,
been cheap. Couldn't have been cheap.
I can't imagine a 10 episode
Right.
series. And think of that's like basically you got like 5 more Dark Crystal movies out of that.
Right.
That's just insane. Like a movie that you were lucky you would have been amazed if you ever got a sequel to it. Now you basically get a miniseries that is the same length of time that 5 movies would have been. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. Dark Crystal.
One of my top 5. We should do that one time. We should do the top 5 metal lunchboxes that we have. We'll do that one. Like maybe that's a good New Year's one, like countdown. Top 5 metal lunchboxes.
I'm going to do something here. Normally we get a little wacky. But,
Wait, you didn't do any of that?
well, I'm gonna.
All right.
I want to show everyone the Dark Crystal poster that you made. Boop.
That wasn't it. Now they're going to think I drew that. You didn't. Boop.
That's not it.
No, that's not it either.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
I hope you didn't draw that.
That fire truck.
It's just wrong. Let's try it again.
All right, last time.
Boop.
There it is.
There it is.
Look at that in all its glory.
Mm-hmm.
Sexy.
And I got the little dark crystal cards that you did over at my desk.
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah. I love drawing Skeksis.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're too sexy.
They're too skexy.
You too skexy for this.
Too skexy for.
You're too skexy for this lunchbox. You didn't even get to do it.
Too skexy for this lunchbox. Too skexy for this lunchbox.
Well, we should probably wrap this up because this cat is starting to kill me.
All right. Keep eating those
dong dings.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open, it's a trap. Oh no, it's a trap. Some people call them bitches, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander adamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.